Well, here we are, we're in Manchester. This is the Tesla Service Centre, right opposite the Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City play, and they obviously have just won the league yet again. And here we are at the centre, and we're in the staff car park here. And just interesting to note, not everyone drives a Tesla. So these are staff cars. So they have free staff charging while they're here. And we've got here obviously a BMW i3. Great. And this is one of the things I've said so many times, is that we could, instead of charging at home overnight and driving the car during the day, you could not charge the car at home overnight and then plug it in all day at work. And that's a classic example of what we're seeing here. We've got next door to it is an ID3. That one again is plugged in. So this is just a total twist on having to charge at home overnight. Why not just charge all day at work? So we've got the Model 3s and the Model Ys, got another hybrid. So there's all sorts going on here. And this is a new centre that has only just opened up in Manchester. Previous to this, we had to go down to Stockport, and that was a lot more restricted than this. They just didn't have the space in the end. And that place, I'm told, is actually staying. It's going to become a used Tesla centre. So all of the used cars coming back off lease or taken in part exchange will actually end up there. So we'll have brand new showroom here. And this one today will show you the surprise in there, but they'll have a new centre here so you can order your cars, and you'll also have the used centre down at Stockport. So we'll see how that one goes. So this one opened up at the end of February or early March, and it's such a change from the other one. It is much more central Manchester, so the drive here is not quite as free and easy. However, it is a good location. There's plenty of room here, and we're here today actually to have a look at, this is the star of the show. And what do we have in there? Try and get rid of reflections. We've got the Tesla Cybertruck. So that's the visit for today. So this is a centre. So if you have anything to do with your car, so for example, repairs, warranty work, any extras that you need fitted, this is the place that you'll come. And it's a beautifully laid out site. It's very modern, very, very light and spacious. Inside we have the new cars that people are free to look at. And we've also at the moment got the robot. We're going to be doing a video on that very shortly. But this is it. There's a lot of parking space here, so we don't have any problems with that. And then on the far side, there's a charger going in. This is a Tesla Supercharger, and these are V4 chargers. So these are 250 kilowatts. They've not yet gone live, but when they do, I think it's a dozen. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's a dozen Tesla V4 Superchargers there. Also, while we're here, it's just interesting to see some of the cars that we come across. And this is a badge that you don't see very often at all. And I'm going to leave it at that because we're going to do a feature on this particular badge in the very near future. But also of great interest, we've got a rather brightly coloured one, and this is the second one I've seen. The first one I have seen is over the other side, and I filmed that one recently. That's a Model 3, and this one is a Model Y, and I think we're going to be seeing more of these on the road in the very near future. It's lovely to see such a variety of cars. Model 3s, Model Ys, Model Xs, some of the old Model S's. Mine isn't the only one anymore. This is a 2014 Model S. Mine's a 2016. So we've got that one. And then over here, we've got another P85D. That's the performance version. and it's lovely to see such a variety of cars. Anyway, so that's the centre that we have here. So for all future warranty work or repairs or alterations, this is where the car will come. So when we come to the Tesla Service Centre, we're always on the lookout for something different. And what we've got here is a seemingly straightforward Model X. These are the ones with the gull wing doors. These are up to 7 seats. So the front doors open normally. The back doors open vertically, and you can tell it's a Model X and they open vertically because of the door handles. They are adjacent to each other, whereas every other car you'll have a handle here and a handle back here. So this is an X, and that's the roof bit that opens up. But the really interesting thing on this one is that this is a 73 plate. That means it's a late 2023. September, October, November, December. And they've stopped making right-hand drive cars. So this one is a left-hand drive UK car. And people are saying they're never going to sell any. I'm not so sure for a couple of reasons. But while we're here, we also noticed that if we come across here, we've got a couple of Model Ys. And here we have a Tesla Model S. Again, a brand new one, 23, so earlier in the year, before September, October. And again, this one is left-hand drive. And this one is definitely worth looking at for a simple reason. The giveaway is red brake discs. So that indicates this one's a performance vehicle. So to see which performance vehicle it is, it's just a simple visit to the back and have a look at the badge. And what we find here is, oh, it's a Plaid. So a Model S Plaid, UK registered, left-hand drive. So why isn't this such an issue? Well, for those of you who are not the doubters or the deniers, Elon Musk is going all in this year, 2024, on full self-drive. And full self-drive, of course, whichever country of the world you're in, doesn't make any difference because it uses cameras. So on this one, we'll have cameras underneath, we'll have cameras in the windscreen, we've got cameras in the side pillar, we've got cameras in the pillar between the doors, and we've got cameras at the back. And I think it's 2 at the back. One of them is up under there. I believe there's another one somewhere. No radar anymore, that's gone. No ultrasonics anymore, they've gone. So this is purely camera based. Now, here's a question for you, welcome comments on this. If you buy a left-hand drive Tesla Model S or X in the UK and you order the full self-drive, does it matter that it's left-hand drive? And the simple answer is, of course it doesn't anymore. I'm heading in now because the rain's coming down a bit harder, so I'm just going to get under a bit of shelter. But it's a very interesting one. It's one I suggested a little while ago. It is that if your car is full self-drive, then from the UK we can go over to France, for example, and we go from left-hand drive in the UK over to right-hand drive in France. Now, I did this in my car. My car's right at the back there. It's an older Model S. I don't have full self-drive, and it never can do it. This is before 2016 cut-off point. Mine was made at the end of 2015, so it's 2016 registered, but a 2015 model. And what that means is that all these cars, since mine, are able to use full self-drive if people choose to and choose to pay for it. Now, when I took mine over to France a few years ago, it absolutely fascinated me that I used the Autopilot. And Autopilot's great on dual carriageways, motorways and wide open roads with good markings. And it drives quite happily, mile after mile, adaptive cruise control, sticking within the speed limit. I do have the nudge reminder, so I have to touch the steering wheel. Used to be every 40 or 50 seconds. It's now been cut to 20 seconds to get drivers more attentive. But it's fascinating to me that when I went across to France, we went on the Eurotunnel on the train, and when we came off, I just put it into autopilot and just immediately, right-hand side of the road, started going round roundabouts the correct way, wrong way to us, and it just drove in France exactly the same as it would have done in the UK, just on a different side of the road, went round roundabouts different way, instantly switched to kilometres per hour instead of miles per hour. This was all automatic, didn't have to do anything, and I've seen for myself, I've driven through France using autopilot, and it was stunningly good. It has automatic headlight dip, automatic wipers, it just keeps the lanes on the auto routes absolutely brilliantly. So I loved it, and I found that fascinating to do. We go one step further with full self-drive, because if that car was equipped for full self-drive, which I'm sure it is, then that car is quite capable of driving and overtaking on its own. It doesn't need the driver to tell it. Now, if it's overtaking, it means it's going to use the cameras to find out whether it's safe, i.e. they don't have blind spots, and it will look for the openings. What that means is it makes no difference to that car whether it's on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the road. So those Teslas, the S and the X, brand new, if anyone's got the budget for them, and they've come down, they're down into about 80,000 now, which is quite a, for what it is, quite a sensible car, particularly when some of the Range Rovers are up at £100,000. I'd be quite tempted, and I don't think I would let the left-hand drive put me off. But what do you think? Comments down below as normal. So thanks very much for watching. I'm Dave.